What's up, guys? It's Jpeasy, and this season of Shifting Tides has been my worst season ever. As of recording this, and the days prior, my previous week's streams were some of my worst performances of probably my entire Siege career. For the first time since Operation Health, so like summer 2017, I was trying to fight my way out of gold. So after about 50 or so games, I was about gold 2. This was not acceptable to me, since no one wants to receive tips on a game where the person themselves isn't winning. So after the stream, I'm sitting at my desk legitimately pissed off at the world, and I start to go over my failures. This was where I would stop and think back to each of my losses and try and figure out the common denominator in each loss. Instead of accepting the excuses I gave at the time, like poor teammates, granted there were plenty, bad luck bro, or that timing, I instead realized that the problem was my own play, either my communication to my teammates, my poor positioning, or my poor decision making. Using excuses which can be easily shrugged off prevents you from seeing the true cause of your own failures. Instead of poor teammates, it's putting your trust in teammates and not watching your own back. Or more often than not, clearly communicating to your teammates what exactly you want them to do in a given situation. For example, in this next clip, and I'm going to throw my buddy JC here kind of under the bus. Sorry, dude. But while attacking church on Clubhouse, JC and I are going through the bar hatch, and JC tosses a smoke down to the church door. So I drop the bar hatch and move towards the church wall to open it up. As I go to peek the hallway to make sure no one's approaching, I get shot in the back directly from under the hatch. This causes much confusion because I thought that maybe JC shot me, but since an enemy would have to go past him in order to get to me. But it wasn't JC's fault in this situation. This was my own doing. I didn't communicate properly to JC to watch my back in the situation. He was worried about his own thing, watching the top, making sure no one was flanking, and in the confusion through the smoke, Pulse was able to push through and shoot me in the back. That is on me for not being very clear on what I needed in a given situation. If I don't take responsibility for my own shortcomings, I'm never going to grow as a player and improve. I'm never going to think to improve my communication. I'm just going to blame someone else and never look at my own gameplay, never assess, never see where I can get better and prevent that situation from happening in the future. This is the key to getting yourself out of a slump. Self-awareness, the hard truths that sting when you come to the realization. For example, you are likely not as good as you believe you are. This sucks to say as much as it takes to realize yourself. When you get to a point where you've gone through a losing streak and you realize, maybe I'm the problem. And then you go from maybe to be like, okay, yeah, I'm the problem. I'm the common denominator. I'm the issue of why my teams are not winning games. We've all had rounds where we drop a kill or we drop a shot, and the person that you could have taken out goes on to murder the rest of your team. Siege is like the butterfly effect in that scenario. Your actions ripple through the entire rest of the match. It's only a 5v5. There's not many people involved in each match. Your actions matter greatly. Try and figure out where you provide value and where you are costing your team. This will help you figure out where you belong in the ranked pool, and granted, this exact activity can be applied to really anything in life. Figure out where you belong, that way you can assess your skills and weaknesses and figure out where to progress from there. I am not a diamond player. Granted, I've come close to the rank multiple times. I need to improve a great deal on my crosshair placement, my movement, and my decision making before I'll be able to make that jump. Be aware of what your strengths are as a player and play to them. Likewise, determine what your biggest weaknesses are and work on them. If you're not far enough on your progression working on one of those weaknesses, figure out ways to work around it. For example, not great at flicking to enemies' heads, perfect your positioning and crosshair placement, and it will help bypass the need for perfect flick aim. Bad at headshotting, but great accuracy at body shots, so use high DPS guns or the TCSG while you work on your aim. Determining those strengths and weaknesses is not like flipping a switch where you instantly just start noting them down. Like, dear diary, today I sucked up the place because I decided it was a great idea to spawn peak with Legion and wasted all my utility. Okay, yeah, that's actually a bad example, because if you're doing that, you should really say that instantly and stop right away. But you get my general idea. This is something you will come up with over time as you win and lose games. You'll be able to notice your strengths and weaknesses and be able to write them down. And I suggest you do exactly that. It seems trivial and BS, but it assists in tackling your problems you have in front of you. Being able to document and use that list to hold yourself accountable is a great tool to hit your goals both in Siege and in life. They can be as serious or as goofy as you want them to be. For example, I have goals checked off from this past year, like move my cents down to a 1-to-1 ratio and start and build my YouTube channel. I also have some fail goals, like convincing the world that Yeezys are terribly ugly shoes. Clearly, I failed there, but there's always next year. But seriously, use your losses to figure out where you could have changed the outcome of your matches. Determine your strengths and weaknesses, and using those 2 points of information, become aware of your current skill level and make a plan of how to change it. That is my goal for each and every one of you this coming year. Keep grinding, and as always, my name is Jpeasy. Take it easy.